What's going on, everybody? Wilson here, your spiritual hype man, and I hope you're having a great day. I hope you are having an amazing day, an amazing week, and if you're not, just remember it's temporary and it's just the thoughts in our head. Things can always look worse. Sometimes occasionally, right? It's good to turn behind us and look backwards or below us and be like, oh, God damn, that's where we were, and that's where I was, and now I'm here. And be present, right, in the moment, and appreciate the fact that you're here and you're not no longer where you were before, right? Because I feel like we tend to look forward a lot. And today, I just want to do a quick I want to talk about the self, myself included, in terms of like understanding who we are in society, right, or within your friends groups or within people. I tend to ponder on these things in terms of like, who am I? How am I perceived? Right? I think we all think about how we're judged or how we're perceived in front of, like, in our friends groups and in front of others, etc. I realized this. I realized that with me, there's really no like middle ground, and I don't know if that's true for anybody else, right? Like, I feel like for most people, or for me personally, it's like you either really love me or like you like the fact that I'm me, or you really don't. Like, right? Like, there's no like, yeah, he's okay. Like, there's either like, yeah, he's really fucking awesome, or I don't fucking like him. And I try to ponder on why that is, right? And then I think the only thing that I got from it, and it's funny. So sometimes when I have these little, like, I'm thinking so many things in terms of how I want to say this, so it doesn't come off. I'm like, always like, well, does that come off in some sort of way? And this is my struggle, and also, I guess, my power, right? But the thought is this. I think that for the people that do love me, they understand that I am that person, that I am the spiritual hype man for them. And most people, again, I've said this before, I don't like when people call me buddy, but I've understood that. I've understood what buddy, like, that notion tends to, like, the feeling that's connected to someone saying buddy, right? If it's not sarcastic, right? Like, buddy. I understand what that emotional connection of like using the word buddy means, right? And so for the people that do love me and that are on that side, they know who I am. Like, they know that I am like, just honest, realistic. I'm there to listen. I'm there to encourage you. I want the best for you. That's really it. Like, I literally want the best for everyone within my situation in life, right? Like, I feel like society, again, side note, it's 2024 and there's people in the world that don't have clean water. Like, they should have clean water. There should be human basic rights and needs that everyone fucking, gets, and they should have, and that's one of them. So that's me, right? Now, on the other side of the spectrum, I feel like the people that don't like me, or the people that are just like, I'm not a big fan of that cup of tea. I think there's pondering, there's a couple of reasons. I feel like we're the person that doesn't. All right, there's one or two people. There's one that I think it's one person, and again, this is me just philosophizing on my own, right? There's a type of person that sees themselves in me, and doesn't like the fact that they're not like that yet, right? That they're not that type of individual, even though they want to, they feel it, they like it, but they just are upset that they are not that person. On the other side of the spectrum, that other type of person, they just could not stand that type of individual of always like being happy, always. Again, I'm not always happy, right? But I guess in the sense of being out in society, that is always, I tend to be that more often than not, is the happy spiritual hypeness. What's up? How's everybody doing? Everybody okay? Go fucking crush it. You're the man. You're the woman. Let's go. Lightning bolts and hearts, is kind of my thing. I think on the extreme spectrum, there's people that are just not into that at all. They're like, go fuck yourself. This is not like, I'm not there ever or ever at all. And that's okay too. Right. So I just feel like I've grown to understand, and I've looked back at relationships and also like group settings and understood that like, that's what that is. And the more I philosophize about it, the less, I don't want to say right. 'Cause people are like, oh, don't give a fuck about what other people are saying about you. Like, you can say that in a whole other way, right? Like it's just the more I philosophize about why is it that certain groups, or members or people or whatever the fact may be, like tend to stay away or not want to interact with certain individuals. I think it's because that one, either the individual is looking to be similar to that or find that within themselves, and they just don't like that someone else is doing it, and or vice versa on the extreme, they're just like totally not within that cup of tea, and they're like, nah, go fuck yourself, because this isn't the way I roll at all. Daggers, skull crossbones, and whatever, like, like it's just opposite. So I think understanding that has given me the okay to be, me. You know what I mean? And to not stray away from that individual due to what others may think or perceive as myself, even though it is hard, because sometimes, again, it could be the same thing for you, but it could not, and it could be different levels of like extremeness in terms of how much you actually do value what that is. But for me, as the individual that I am, in terms of like the feeling emotional, high intellect of like emotional feelings for other people, like it does matter a lot, and that's something that I'm looking to balance out. So that's me sharing some inside thoughts of my own philosophy, and whether it's you, whoever you are in that situation, I wish you the best, and I hope this perspective gives you perspective, and then from there you can do what it is, to what it was, to when you do, baby. All right, I hope you guys have a great day. Keep crushing it, and I will see you guys on the next one. Short and sweet today, but go kick some ass, and don't forget, nothing changes until you do. Peace.